it has things that I can pick at.
We up?
Yeah. Hello, everybody. How are you?
Hello.
What's up, everybody? We're back. We're back here on our regularly scheduled time of Twisted Perceptions. Hooray. For those of you who haven't been all over our socials recently, things are going to be running a little different this month, and we'll tell you why right now. As you can see, our lovely and favorite and amazing DM is not here. That is because he is busy this month doing a lot of really cool and amazing things that maybe he'll tell you when he comes back. And in that time, we decided, hey, what if instead of canceling our stream, we just run a series of one-shots? But not just that. You guys have seen our one-shots before. Before we set it over in a sci-fi cyberpunk kind of realm. And before that, we've done a few other things. But what if instead we run it in the world of Ashirma? And for those of you new to our stream, Ashirma is the world that we play in current running campaign. What if we run it in Ashirma? What if we keep within our world, but each of us as players gets to take turns and explore this world a little bit more? So that's what we're going to be doing. We also want to say welcome as well to our lovely Rhiannon over here, who is joining us for this bit. Hi, I no longer have to be the token girl.
There's two of us. We could be the
Love
token
you
girl
boys, but you know what? Sometimes I just need a little, estrogen. There's a little too much testosterone happening.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think any of us could actually argue with that point.
I can't.
No, none of us can.
There's
You
two
really
of us.
can't. So that's what we're doing. Tonight we are going to be, I'm going to be running tonight's one shot. You guys have only ever seen me DM once before. We had 2 players, and I've gone from 2 players now to 4, so we've doubled this. Hooray! I've only DM'd a few times before. I think out of this entire group, I'm probably still the newest to Dungeons and Dragons in general. So for those of you watching, don't judge me. I'm learning. But we're going, and I'm excited. We do have a special announcement, but we will announce that after our break. So make sure to stay with us, because this will impact the future of Twisted Perceptions and those of you who watch our streams. It's good news, I promise. Anybody have anything else they want to add?
Well, we are running that contest for the next 3 weeks.
Thank you for reminding me.
You're very welcome.
I'm the one who makes the TikTok, and I can't. My mind is currently full of everything you guys are about to face tonight.
That's perfectly
Anyway,
fine, and I'll take care of that.
Thank you, David. Thank you, David.
For the next 3 weeks, we are currently have a contest going on through mainly on our TikTok. If you actually follow that, you will see that video where our lovely Shaq actually explains it. That if we actually, by Thursday, we'll choose somebody to join us for one of the next 3 one-shots. And who knows what happens with that. Next week's one-shot will be run by me, so that will be interesting.
Hey, ready for torture.
I wasn't going to say it yet, but
Prepare your
Had
backsides for her,
But it's
we know
motherfuckers.
it's true. We know it's true.
Mental agony.
I can't wait to entertain you guys next week.
By
Yeah.
entertain, he means turn us into roadkill.
I don't know.
Just kidding. We love you, David.
We absolutely
David's an amazing
adore you.
DM. Actually makes us think, which
And
I have
scares us half to
I have
death.
about 3 brain cells running around up here at any given point in time, and at least 2 of them are bouncing around trying to find the corner, like a DVD logo. For those of you who are, older than the
Old
age of 12. Yeah, our competition. There's a TikTok detailing it, so go ahead and check out our TikTok on that. But we will be announcing those of you who entered. We're picking at random, and you guys will be announced on the Thursday before the week. So keep up with that.
We're definitely gonna
I
be looking
think-
through it all week, so we'll get back to you guys the moment that we know.
Right. I think we're gonna. Oh, tonight we are featuring this mug that I got when I was on my month-long road trip, where I did get to visit all of the Twisted Perceptions members, the ones that I don't live with anyway.
Mine is
Stairs across hallway. This one I got this mug when I was with our lovely dungeon master. It was a lot of fun. Tonight also features the dice that I got when I was with David. Let's hope these don't destroy you. Let's hope that David's dice do not betray him tonight.
No. That wouldn't be the
Superstitions.
first time that they do, so it's okay.
Cool. I actually get to roll physical dice, and this makes me unimaginably happy. All right. I think that's everything out of the way. We've done all the talking things. I just talk a lot in general. So, let me pull up my notes. Thank you very much, so I know what the heck I'm doing. And let us begin. So, for those of you who do follow our regular running campaign, we are set in Ashirma. This is the same world, but this session is going to take place several thousand years in the future. For those of you who've joined our Discord server and are involved in the role play, this is before the role play. Little timey-wimey to mess with your minds. That's what Twisted Perception is all about. Here we are. We are set several thousand years in the future of the current running campaign. Everything that has happened already, everything that will come to pass in our regular thing, it's dead and gone. Those of us who play have been immortalized somehow in the face of everything, and here we are. Certain kingdoms have changed names, locations have changed geography, things are, as they do over time. Where we start is in a city that I need to stare at the name of to be able to pronounce properly.
Mhm.
We are starting in the hallowed city of Hyrule. You come into the city, and we get a bit more of a gothic vibe going on here, okay? Darker buildings, sharper edges, cobblestone streets, gothic. It's a wonderful start to everything. And we kind of narrow ourselves down into the scene and head through the most inconspicuous trapdoor and find ourselves in the most intricate set of underground network tunnels and rooms that anyone has ever seen, known only by the members of the Talon Grip Thieves Guild. And this is where we start. Each of you party members is a member of this Thieves Guild. Whether you are a new recruit or you are someone who has been in this guild your entire life, you know these tunnels, you know almost every single person in this guild. I will actually have our wonderful James over here explain to us a little bit more about the guild itself.
Right. Well, welcome to the Talon Grips. We are a thieves guild in name only. For what we actually hunger for on the best of days is a damn good story. We spend our lives collecting and hoarding, not knowledge, not grand works, but the lives of not only those of fame, but the everyday person. Now, of course, the grander the story, the more fun it is, but you can't forget the little people. It is quite well hidden. It is very much the best kept secret in the city of Hyrule. And I welcome you to its hallowed halls. The different designs that outlay the network of various what seem to be griffins, but they're not just lion and eagle. They are leopard and owl. They are raven and panther. It is rather warm, but not necessarily homey. After all, we are all strewn about in various places in the guild, and, well, the best you've got are sleeping bags to rest your head upon. But that's exactly how we like it.
Awesome. Here you go. We have set the scene. Let's see. Which of you shall we pick on first? Roll a dice. First roll of the night. Eleni, am I saying this right? Should have asked for the pronunciation earlier.
Helene is right. Yeah.
Kaleni, what would you be doing right now?
Highly likely, she is scoping out any of the magical items or trinkets or bits and bobs that we've collected in order to tell such wonderful stories, and is trying to work out how she can convince people that they don't need them, but she does.
Kaleni, as you are perusing these items that you so hope to verbally pilfer, you hear the sounds of footsteps behind you, and out through the door appears Arner, who is a well-known member of the guild.
Anna,
So,
nice to see you again, dear.
well, of course, I'm a rare sight among these parts, apparently.
Real quick,
Diamond in the rough.
now that I think of it, Kaleni, would you give us a little description of your character and then
Yes.
Arner as well after?
Absolutely. So Kaleni is a tall, 5'9" drow lady. She has a silvery cobweb tattoo on the left shoulder. She tends to wear all black and a very soft hint of purple every now and then. Her hair is a shocking kind of bleach white, but it's naturally that way. She can't help it. She's tried to dye it several times. It just stays white, stubbornly, obstinately. Even glamour weaves and disguise hats cannot change the color of her hair. Fun fact, she has tried it all. It is white or white or white.
Right. Well, the man you see before you looks rather plain, very much human, with a bandana across his forehead, and on the left hand a deep leather glove. There's the beginnings of stubble around the sides, with a very thick goatee and a small mustache. It's funny because it's just my face, but slimmer. And the hair is rather short, sandy blonde, more olive to tan skin. Rather tall, dashing 6'4". And listen, we all know I have an obsession with the big characters. Anyways, however, despite the height, is rather thin. Not necessarily unhealthily so, but very much a lanky sort. However, the only thing he wears on his body is a long draped cloak, a sash, and what seem to be very dark canvas pants, with no shirt underneath. This man is just completely out in the open and ready for fun. So, yes.
Continue your seat.
Diamond in the rough, maybe. I still have yet to decide whether that statement is worthy of me. However, we may have a bit of business to attend to.
Business? Oh, you know I'm always up for a little bit of business. Did you need my silver tongue?
Listen, a silver tongue is always welcome. Seems to be that the guild mage has called for a very select few people and requires our assistance.
For reference to all of you guild members, the guild mage is a very, very private person. Most members of the guild have never laid eyes even on the mage, and no one actually knows what their name is. Well, not unless you're higher up anyway and have had personal business with them. So to be called in by the guild mage is a very odd thing.
Are you sure he wanted to speak to us specifically?
Considering I have had direct conversation with her, yes, I am quite sure exactly who they called for.
Ooh, her.
And we lost it. And we lost him. Oh no!
And
Timing on it
this
too.
is
Oh
I've
no!
come to realize the fact that things are not fixed properly in other scenes.
Jeez. That was rather interesting.
The timing on it.
It was
Technical difficulties, everyone. But we're
You
back.
had to
That was
applaud that
quick.
one. You had to applaud that one. That was perfect.
The timing on it.
Friggin' work.
We had a sideways James.
We did.
It was beautiful.
Unfortunately, I had somebody call me. We are going to continue to ignore that. Anyways, yes, no, I'm very sure who she called for. And to be quite honest, I'm rather excited for the team that we're going to be working with.
Kalani is quite happy to go with Anna. He's pretty famous within the Thieves Guild, so she knows who he is. And she knows what he can potentially get her or not get her in terms of items that she can send back home slowly. So she's going to absolutely follow him. Well then, lead the way, dear.
I knew you only liked me for what I had to offer.
Oh,
that
but
is not
it's so
that is not in character. That is just being a shit.
Yeah, absolutely not in character, because there is no way that you would get through her.
No. So yes, I do believe we should find our friends. In fact, it might be pertinent to start rather quickly. So if you would, in fact, follow me.
And she does.
You guys.
And...
Whoop.
No. It's you. I'm following wherever the fuck they are.
Dice gods have dictated who's next. David. What would Okamas be doing right now?
So just to paint this person is a 8.5 foot tall, gray skinned, red hair, blue eyed furball that is currently would be sitting somewhere in a corner.
Oh.
But if anybody gets within a certain distance, they end up feeling as if his presence is not there. But when they look in his eyes, there's always this fierce beast within. He also has slitted eyes, so that's part of it. But
Spicy.
he would be sitting there completely relaxed, not trying to draw attention to himself, and probably trying to sleep, as he's been called on way too many we need distractions recently. So he's just like, let me be, let me relax.
Oops.
And he already knows the footsteps coming down the hall, who they belong to, and he's just trying to nonchalance, like, I'm not here, let me be.
You know that's not going to work on me, right?
Nor I. Never been ignored a day in my life. It's not
Arner.
going to start now.
Oh, you big lug.
To what do I
Listen.
do displeasure this time? Who do I need to get a distraction for?
Well, considering you have been called by the guild mage herself, seems this mission might be rather specialized.
And hearing those words, he would snap his eyes open and be like, what?
Oh, you heard me right, big boy.
That's definitely a first.
Of course it is. She is rather reclusive.
And to
And
think
yet,
I've actually known these
you know,
tunnels for so long, and yet I still never met them. Well, I guess if she calls, we're supposed to go. So
Would probably do you right.
he's gonna get up, and he's gonna stretch. And when he stretches, for a moment, a ethereal wings would just kind of appear for just like a split second and disappear again as he stretches out his back.
What kind of wings?
We'll find out later.
You and your tricks. Right. Oh, there's one more of this jolly band of assholes. We need to find our good friend Danny.
Darren.
Darren, my bad. Anna isn't around a lot.
Okay, now I
Names
want
are
it to
away.
be a thing where Arner specifically messes with Darren,
Yes.
always
Yes.
calling him the wrong name.
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
Now. It's a thing. It's now a thing.
Short range.
Mm-hmm.
Short
Got it.
rage. Turns out Danny is a fucking barbarian of a halfling.
Okay, let me sip my tea before we spill the tea. Anyways, I will set the scene for you, Darren. Darren, down a few halls, you're currently in the middle of attempting to break up a fight between two of the younger, newer, more hard-headed members of the guild who are just trying to prove themselves, and they're definitely not going about it the right way. They're currently kind of locked together. They're not even really fighting well at all. They're very much doing just the kind of like trying to show off, kind of batting around at each other kind of thing. It really shouldn't be that hard for you.
He just like he's been just leaning against this wall watching, like, assumably in this area where a lot of people like hang out. He's just kind of leaning against this wall, sipping from a flask of whiskey, and he's
What does he look like?
3 foot tall. He's got actually a fairly fancy looking like button up shirt on with a like kind of like a heavy jacket over the top.
Short king, short king.
He's got some like obviously adventuring pants, but they're a little more elegant than like the rest of the crew. And he's just looking at these two is like, I am so tired of all this shit. Right. He pushes off the wall and just gets right next to him and just grabs both hands and yanks them down to his level. I'd fucking stop if I were you. There's no fighting between our crew members. If you want to get kicked out, that's how you do it the quickest. And if you want to do it bad, you're going to fucking die. So fucking stop.
And right about now is when the other three walk in on this scene of just the halfling, two grown boys held at the ears, just bent almost double, trying to be at his level.
Kaleni just takes one look at him and looks at Anna and says, "Tell me we're taking the halfling."
Oh, we're taking the halfling.
And Omakis is just going to walk. He's going to lean under the actual door frame to make sure he gets in. And as he goes over, he's going to lift Darren by the collar just to make sure everybody else is standing upright. He's like, "Why are we doing this again, Darren?"
Fucking drop me, I swear to God. I will fucking crumple you, I swear.
Orcamus, please don't piss off the halfling before we need him to be pissed off.
I was,
Put me the
going
fuck
to-
down.
I was actually going to give him a
Oh,
ride.
but it's so
And he's just gonna
fun.
look at Darren as if this is normal. This entire thing between the two of them is just an everyday thing. It's like, just let them go for right now, because we both know that when it comes down to it, they're just gonna learn their lesson afterwards anyway.
I'm the one who teaches the fucking lessons.
I know that's.
Or do you fucking forget that?
Danny boy, Danny boy, Danny boy.
I swear to God, you call me by the wrong name again. I fucking swear.
I'm sorry, the wrong name. I've only known you by one, Danny. But how about you let me try this out? And he's going to look to the two boys, and he's going to like put a hand and like wave across his face, and the bandana disappears, showing these two long, curved, purple, almost amethyst looking horns, and takes the glove off of the left hand, revealing the purple talon. Now, are we going to keep fighting like a pair of squabbling finches? Or are we going to actually do something about this altercation?
Kalani is just gonna gently lean slightly over and whisper, "What's a finch?"
I will roll intimidation real quick because I want these kids to
I
shit
just want to
themselves.
see how intimidating you are to these guys right now.
And also,
I
a quick
am
question: Who is
going to make
Kalani
sure I had the
asking
right
the question
character.
to?
She was asking you, Ogamus, what's a finch?
I think it's a little.
Ah, why is it a 13? That's shit.
And you have advantage from Kalani. Just on her own.
Can I have that advantage? I want to try one more.
Yeah, take the advantage. I just rolled for there to see how.
I rolled for Darren, by the way.
Yep.
That's a 24.
much better.
That's much better for what his rank should be.
You're welcome.
Yeah, no, they rolled a 12. So these kids
So
are
even with the 13, it was fine.
just wide-eyed, head shake, run. And they're like scrambling over each other to get out. And you, like, the few other guild members that are in the room, you just see them like snickering to each other, like, oh, the newbies, you know. Yeah, just haha.
After everybody runs off, Okama just simply puts Darren right on his shoulder.
I fucking appreciate it. Put me the fuck down.
We gotta go with distance. It makes
I
sure
don't
that
care.
Danny boy. Calm
He's not
down
even.
first.
He's not even looking to honor at this point. He's ignoring every single thing unless he says the right name.
the guild mage acts for us. Apparently.
Okay, then we're
I'm
gonna have
guessing
some
because-
fun here.
Oh god.
And we are going to cast Thaumaturgy and flashbang Danny right in the face, so he's forced to turn his head to look at Arner.
Which means that you also catch Okami's at the
Yes.
same time.
Sorry.
Oh.
So Darren will close his eyes and turn his head, but he does not open his eyes.
You might want to listen, because the guild mage is the one that's calling for you.
You're fucking lucky that it's her. He'll open his eyes and look at Arner.
Right. So, I think it's time we go and meet the woman herself. Now, I don't need to remind you, she's rather secretive. You tell no one what you see here today. Is that understood?
Okama's very simply, no one ever believes me anyway. But it's better that way. That way, whenever the stories come out, they don't believe me. It's okay.
Right.
Give a professional point to believe you, darling.
Well then. Follow me and we can go say hello. And
Yeah,
Arner
yeah.
will lead them.
Onwards. You head down through the halls, and it is a bit of a distance. You're going through tunnels that the further you go, the less traveled they are, and it's very apparent. until you come to just a very simple wooden door in the wall.
Right. Again, silence. And just in quick, rapid succession, in Thieves' Cant, is going to knock out a message through the door.
What is message?
Simply, I've gathered them. Still don't know why you chose this group, but I mean, I guess I have to
Arner,
follow.
to the group, hypes them up. Arner, to the guild mage, what are you doing? Why them?
It's not. It's not even so much that like he doesn't believe in them. It's more like they all are really good at what they do, but like this particular cast working together is going to be very interesting.
Kalani also understands Thieves Guild and Thieves Can't, so standing next to him, hearing the knocks, she's just going to raise like one eyebrow very slightly.
Passive perception
They
of
all
19.
understand these can't, and they're
These-
all just gonna.
You're not rogue. You're
No,
not
but
a
I
rogue,
was
David.
raised by them.
You technically don't
You
get
know what?
thieves' cant,
I know.
but yes,
I
we're
know
going to
some.
allow you to have the thieves' cant.
We'll allow
Anyway,
it. Just
you all
simply
hear
because.
this knocked out. You all stare very offended at Arner. But before anything else can happen, the door opens seemingly on its own. And you don't at first see anyone inside. What you do see kind of looking through this doorway is, I mean, it's what you expect of someone who's a mage. You see shelves and shelves of books. You see a table that is littered in more books and scrolls and quill and ink and components all over it. But instead of a chaotic mess, it's organized. Everything is put in its place very, very specifically. And there's just something, and there's no lights in the room, which is a very odd thing. There's no light. So you're all kind of staring at it. I mean, those of you with dark vision can see well enough, but those of you without just kind of, what?
All of Marcus is
Darren-
just looking at the room like. Then looks at Darren on the shoulder.
Right before they enter, Darren can't see either. He has no dark vision. But before they enter, he will take out his rapier, which is significantly smaller than most rapiers would be. And he's just going to poke Arner in the back and quickly sheath it.
Passive perception of 19. Does he catch it?
Are you
Are
sneaking?
you wanting to catch a blade?
Hey, listen, he's got one good demon talon, so I mean, he's willing to try. It's also just a toothpick to him, so I mean.
Are you like sneaking your little jab at him?
Yes.
Yeah,
So roll me
that,
stealth.
and I'll roll perception.
It-
Oh well,
Your
actually,
passive-
my passive
Yeah,
beats
you
it.
passive beat that because I rolled an advantage and got 2 and a 5.
Where did your
So-
advantage
so-
come from?
My elven boots.
Oh yeah.
Arner in seconds, just before it can actually poke him in the back of the neck, grabs it in the talon, and just kind of looks back over his shoulder and grins. It's like, one day when you're older, you might be able to get past me. And flicks it back.
Ow.
I'm older than you fucking are.
That's what you think.
Oh, Marcus
keeps
at this
walking.
point is just going to put Darren down on the floor.
So Arner's gonna walk into the room and just kind of look around. You know, you asked for people to be here and your lights are still off. I know this is a common thing with you, but would it kill you to prepare sometime? Shithead little brother.
Say that again. I was responding to Twitch feed.
I said shithead little brother goes around, just like looks around in the room and says, "Listen, I know you don't need them, but you called for people who can actually see. We might need the lights."
I can
And
see just
from
fine.
from a side door, you just hear a book snap shut, and then torches in the room all come to life. Now it's fully lit.
Oh, Kalani kind of winces a little bit.
Yeah,
Arner does
fully
the
lit
same.
room. And in the room now, you're all inside and you're closer to the table. It's so strange. If you look at the books and you look at the scrolls, rather than writing, there's these little dots and dashes, and they look raised on the surface of the pages. It's nothing that you can read. A couple seconds later, out from the side door comes the guild mage. And she cuts a very striking figure. She's standing at about 5'11-ish. She's tall, but she's not definitely nowhere near as tall as Arner. Stands absolutely straight and regal. She has hair about as long as this, and it is as white as Kaleni's. It is just this snowy, starlit white, hanging down to her shoulders, half tied back. Her skin is almost exactly the same color, just porcelain pale kind of skin. She wears white clothes almost entirely. She is wearing kind of this white cloak, or that's not the right word, kind of this white mantle. And she's got a black belt. It's the stark contrast of color on her, and just these loose white pants. And she's got a book held in her hands. And the most striking thing about her is you can't see her eyes, because over this part of her face and tied behind her is this white cloth, just as white as the rest of anything. Completely covering her eyes. She walks out and turns her face towards Arner and just, well, I don't exactly have visitors very often, so it's not something I tend to remember. But I do apologize.
That is why I'm here to remind you now, isn't it?
Yes, well, you don't tend to need them much either, so. And you can tell that the vibe between these two is very familiar. Arner, now that you're standing here, definitely knows her very well. This is one of the few people who actually has close contact to the guild mage.
So, do you care to tell?
To point out, Kalani is totally right. She totally called that he absolutely knows her way better, and she's proud of herself about this.
Right. So, considering this was concocted by you and me, perhaps the others should be filled in. I left that honor to you, as it is your mission.
Getting to it. Sorry, I'm not leaping and launching into the details 2 seconds after you've all walked in my door. Oh.
Sorry, I'm impatient.
I'm aware. And as she says that, the door closes. You see a mage hand, and then it goes floating off. And she turns her face towards the rest of you, and it's so very odd. You swear you feel like this woman is looking at you, but there's no eyes, there's no indicator of who exactly she's looking at any given point in time. And she doesn't smile. She's just a very calm, placid face.
He's just like,
and she nods at him.
Darren just leans against the door frame, and is just sipping from his whiskey, not even looking Like he knows he's supposed to be here. He knows he's supposed to be respectful, but there's no need to look at her eyes. So he's just like standing there.
Yep.
She nods at the three of you. I suppose if we are going to be doing this together, I should introduce myself. I should probably tell you what I'm asking you to do. And she speaks just like this very quiet, very level voice. This is someone who is poised in every part of herself. And she sets the book she had in hand on her table with the rest of the things, folds her hands before her. My name is Volans Celestris. Anybody who's traveled outside of Kyrie is welcome to make a history check to see if they can recognize this name. Those of you who are from Hyrie, you wouldn't have any cause to know anything. Jared knows nothing.
Would Arner have a reason to know?
Arner knows.
Yeah.
Arner knows. Kaleni, you feel like you've heard this name before, and you feel like it's important. You're just not quite sure why.
Yep.
There's some dangerous connotations to that name.
Oh.
That's a 18 for the Furbolg.
Good job. You, Uncamus, you know this name. You know this to be someone who was part of the royal court in a kingdom towards the northern end of the continent. A very powerful mage. Just a little over a decade ago. And no one quite knows where she went. She disappeared out of nowhere, at least in the public eye. So.
Okamas, being who he is gonna go, oh. Oh. You're okay. And that's it. That's it.
Okay. She kind of shakes her head. I'm assuming this one points at Okamus. Has figured out who I am. And for those of you,
last name is a dead giveaway.
That's
why do you
'cause of
think
the
I use it
monks.
less often than the first? I need your help. Plain and simple. There's something that I have put off for far too long that now needs attention, but it is something that I cannot do by myself. The kingdom of Sylvatica, as you have all heard, and you have, there's been news that, there's the news that travels the kingdoms from the traders that come in and out and the travelers and whatnot. Rumors spread and news flies, but Sylvatica, that northern kingdom, is rumored to be on the verge of collapse. Famine has taken the land. The government is just a mess. It's bad. So he references that Sylvatica is on the verge of collapse. And I am the one that knows how to stop it. At least I think I do. The king is the cause. See, I worked in his court for a very long time. I was the court mage, the right hand to him in all matters of the arcane and other parts of industry that I was needed for. But a couple decades ago, back when he still had his attention and his loyalties to the gods, there came a prophecy. One line only. The kingdom would fall, and the only thing that could save it would be through the eyes of the mage. There wasn't a name, not mine or any others, but the attention of everyone in the court, kingdom, turned to me. They started looking to me rather than to him. In many matters, reverence and respect was being transferred in priority, and the longer it went on, the less he could stand of it. And none of this I could see until far too late. A hatred and malevolence that had always been there, brewing now, came to the surface. It didn't take him very long until he decided something needed to be done. I will spare you the details, but she taps the side of the cloth over her eyes. He took from me the thing that people sought, so that they would look to him instead. She pauses for a quick second. It's ironic. And she stops and looks to Okamus. Well, looks.
Are we going to... Sorry, do you
Yeah.
want us to actually dethrone a king?
In so many words, yes.
You see Darren. Everyone else sees Darren just kind of this sly grin just come to his face.
Well, hold on. And then Okamas, same breath. Okay, are we also taking his eyes out to replace yours?
No. No.
Oh,
Just
okay.
puts her hands together. This endeavor is not about vengeance. This isn't a personal vendetta that I have against him. I left. I left my people, and I left my kingdom. A very long time ago. It's ironic that it was when my sight was taken from me that I could actually see what he was and what was happening. But back then, I didn't have any strength or will to stop it on my own. I ended up here. Arner found me. And here I have been hiding, keeping away. But I cannot keep ignoring this, knowing that the people are suffering, and others might be suffering even more than I have. And that is why I need all of you. Say that again?
So we are to be king killers.
Well, he doesn't necessarily have to die. If we put him on trial to face his crimes, so be it. But he needs to be off of that throne, and we do need what he took from me. I have heard rumor from the few sources I was able to get in contact with that he holds them still.
Well, if you get me close enough, I can make sure he talks. But I can't guarantee that I will let him stand trial.
I can talk my way in and out of anything. Forget what you took back. I can convince anyone to give them to me. Very reasonable.
But at least I know I'm not the only silver tongue here.
I'll do whatever's needed. I don't know what that means, but yeah.
You might.
We found the bean of the one-shot party, guys.
Oh God!
There's always one.
Oh, I can't say I like the sound of this. It does sound like a bounty.
What it sounds like is a damn good story.
Even more than that. Wow, it will make quite the story. I can promise that if we make it, that if we do this right, I can offer you things that will bring this guild far from underneath the surface. And for each of you, a sizable reward. Just kind of leaves it a little open-ended as to what she's implying, but I mean, we're taking over a kingdom. There's many things awaiting you, especially within a palace.
The street urchin doesn't really know what that would imply, but he just nods anyway.
Kalani is here for the items. Yes, you want to give her rewards for doing things, she is going to do thing now.
I will warn you. She holds up a hand. This sounds like a grand adventure and a good story. But it doesn't necessarily mean all will go well. We are working with very little information, and the few resources that we have. I cannot promise we will all make it out of this alive.
It sounds like a normal Monday.
It ain't a good story. Hey, the best stories always have at least one martyr.
That sounds like a normal Wednesday.
Absolutely.
But I
Are
thought
you-
it
are
was
you-
Thursday.
Are you offering to take that position, Arner?
Not by your hand, Danny.
She turns her face towards Arner, but points a hand at Darren and just, this is the one you were telling me about?
Oh, yes.
That makes sense.
What's he
Listen.
saying about me?
I said that you're a half pint with rage issues, and I'm not wrong.
I mean, I'd rather our reputations precede us in a nice way.
Oh no, it's a very damn good reputation. Do you know how funny it is when a 3-foot motherfucker decides he doesn't like your face anymore?
It is quite fun to bring people down to my level.
Anyways,
Exactly.
kind of gathers the attention back. You will join me. I can tell you what little I know, and I will be joining you. I won't be staying back this time. I can provide a little more than what we already have, perhaps, resource-wise. Personal collection, we'll call it. But are you in?
Oh, we already knew I was in.
Yeah, sure. I'm getting tired and bored of. Sorry, Ree. Continue.
That's alright. I cut you off by accident.
Akamis just said, well, this sounds like a lot more. It'll be a lot more fun compared to going around and getting everybody out of trouble and bringing them back safely. So, yeah, why not?
And Darren is spaced out.
Yeah,
like that.
Darren is just thinking mountains and mountains of gold, but really, compared to him, it's like a 6-foot pile.
He's thinking Scrooge McDuck's vault when he's actually looking at, like, you know, the Christmas special version.
Oh.
Right. So, with that being said, we'll do a little montage here because who needs all the talker? She gathers you around the table, moves around a couple of things, and you kind of get the sense now why she keeps things in such order is because this way she knows where things are to reach out and have no need to go searching. She pulls over a map, lays it out, and you see, which all of you y'all have the map of the Shirma, or you know where it is. Anyway, not super important. lays out the map where High Reese sits about right here. Sylvatica is sitting up at the top, a bit of a ways away. It's a more distant kingdom.
Mhm.
And lays out the fact this is where we're going, pulls out another map, and it is a map of the capital city in Sylvatica that you're going to, where the palace is. I almost said Passel. My brain wanted to mix Callus and Passel. Ooh, that was a moment. We love that. The palace is, and points out to you the main road, a couple of side roads into the city, the roads that you have to take to get even up to the castle itself. She doesn't, unfortunately, have a map of the castle itself. Her hope is that she can remember her way through, but she is at the detriment of, well, she can't quite see it all anymore. But we'll see how it goes. Now, second thing to note is getting there. Because by foot, we're talking probably a week and a half of travel. You're taking a cart, it's going to take you a few days. There are magical means, but those are a little harder to come by. And she has since lost a lot of her magical power in the years that she has been away. So those are the two things to consider. But, not but. So, to the party.
Well, is there anything that anybody wants to get off their chest before we happen to run into the den of a mad king and possibly get beheaded in the process?
You're a right arsehole.
That we already knew.
If we go in
It's always
sneaky,
nice to reiterate.
gently, a little persuasion with a little deception, we'll probably get more of what we're looking for than if we run in hot-headed.
Absolutely, and I don't disagree with you in the slightest. In fact, I think under the guise of diplomacy would go rather well for us. However, might I ask you a favor?
Me personally?
Yes, you personally.
I mean, you can ask.
If you can talk your way into getting me in the same room as that man alone without anyone around, not only can I get us what we need, but and I'm assuming Bolance is in the front of the cart, driving at this point.
Well, we're not there yet. She laid out what it is.
Oh, okay.
The way that we have to go. We are still in the room.
I misunderstood.
We need to find a way to even get to Sylvatica at current.
So you know what? I'm going to change this. He doesn't say this out loud. He's going to use message, his cantrip, to speak directly to her. He's just going to say, if you can get me alone with that man, nobody else around, no guards, no one to talk. Not only can I get us the information of what we are searching for, but while Volans may want him to stand trial, I plan to take exactly what that man took from her.
I know how to make people disappear long enough that they can kill people. It's part of my job. Stay close, and when the opportunity strikes you, you'll disappear. No one will have even seen you. I didn't see you, certainly.
Looking over at the map.
An eye for an eye.
Omakis is
I feel like that needs to go in the quotes.
It does. Omakis would just quietly say, I think I can get a cart. Or I can try to get us some horses.
Volans, We do also have our other resources that might be able to get us there faster.
It'll take about a day. Do we have enough for the others?
I always have enough for the others.
And you think the higher ups are okay with this?
The higher ups don't control the cliffs. I do.
You think it's a good idea?
It's the fastest option we have. Plus, let's see how these ones handle the air.
Fun fact, Helene is terrified of heights, being a drow who's lived underground her entire life.
Well, unfortunately,
It's so much fun for her.
this is going to be the most fun.
Whether or not Darren is afraid of heights doesn't matter. He's still going to be cursing at Arner for fun.
Right.
Rollins nods. Sounds like we know how we're getting there. We will need to hide them when we do get there, or simply send them back and find another way home, because they're not exactly something common to Sylvatica. But before we do leave, as I said, I may have a little more to add to our resources. And she turns and goes through another door that had been closed before. She unlocks it, and I'm assuming you all follow her in. You find the small, it actually looks like a small armory. Think a walk-in closet of an armory. There's a couple of sets of light armor, nothing more than light armor, a couple of shields, a few different weapons here and there. And she turns to the group. Can provide slight more protection. These were things that I managed to get my hands on over the years. I'm not just a mage, but magic certainly does help when it comes to thieving. I have more than I need for myself right now. Feel free. You guys can each, if you so choose, add whatever light armor you are proficient with of a +1 nature to your inventory, and a +1 weapon of your choice.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
A +1 weapon and a +1 armor, is that right?
Yeah.
Just making sure I heard right.
Or if it's not like a +1 weapon, something of the uncommon level weaponry. If you
In
don't.
addition to the ones we had before.
Yeah, and for let me look at this real quick. And for Okamas, she turns to him, she points and just, don't think I forgot about you. I have something quite special for you. And she turns and she goes over to this closed little box, and she picks it up and brings it over to him and just holds it in her hands.
He's gonna take the box and open it. Like, huh?
And in it, you see a set of bracers that will go from wrist almost up to your elbow. They are made out of a very fine leather, and they are, like stamped with decorations of dragons, with the face down here by the wrist, tail up towards your elbows, and they look like they are breathing, and the breath of whatever. These ones would have been ice, or you can see like the icy breath going around the wrist part of the bracers. So you can add to your inventory bracers of defense.
Nice. So instead of armor, are you okay with me using a cloak of protection?
Yeah, go for that.
Okay. So I took a cloak of protection and a +1 rapier.
I took +1 studded leather and also a +1 rapier.
And
Stabby,
Darren get a
stabby.
cloak as well.
Yeah, if you don't use armor, something that, like, if you're unarmored, like Okamasa is as a monk, there were the bracers, or for those of you who just do other things, you could take the ring or the cloak. Or the shields. The shields are also of a +1 nature.
Yeah, he would end up finding a couple of +1 darts, and just pocketing them also.
Yeah. All right, now that we are all armored and weaponed up, make sure you guys are updating your sheets. I should probably update my own sheet. All right. As we all, get armored up, Volance turns to Arner. We're following you on this one. You know where they are.
Of course I do. Right then. Follow me. And with just just the cockiest but also like sly shit-eating grin, Arner just kind of like gestures with a flourish of his wrist towards the door and starts walking out.
Yep.
And Volance gestures for everyone to follow.
Follow.
Okamus is going to once again lean under the extra door frame and follow behind everybody.
Darren's going to climb up Okamus's back and just kind of like hang from the clothing as he walks.
Right. So,
yeah.
Arner leads you to a spot that many of you have probably heard of and heard tales of, but most have never actually come out here unless they were ushered by him. You find these massive on top of you're basically on a plateau coming outside of the city, and as you look down there is vast ocean on all sides with crashing waves against sparse and jagged stone that seems to almost come out in different forms, and they almost curl to look like talons. And from the legends and the stories that you've heard, this is where the guild received its name. These are the Talongrip Cliffs. And Arner, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Finish what you were saying. I'll go in after.
Oh no, I was gonna do the thing. Like I wasn't gonna have much weight.
Okay.
So if you
Real quick for the question in the chat that I just saw. Yes, the party at current for this one shot is level 12. There's reasons why we're doing such a high level one shot. And for those of you new to our stream, our regularly running campaign, we are currently at level 11. So higher level things here. Kind of wanted to explore the world of high level characters since most campaigns don't get that high. Would the party like to introduce their classes, or do you guys want to keep those secret until they're witnessed later on in the
I'm gonna
game?
keep mine secret.
I have no problem saying mine. I am an inquisitive rogue for 5 levels, and I am 7 levels in College of Law Bard.
I will just say that Okamus is a monk, and I will leave the rest of it to be found out later.
Okay, I will say what his levels are, but not the subclasses. He's got 4 levels of rogue, 3 levels of barbarian, and 5 levels of fighter.
We are at an even 6 levels rogue, 6 levels warlock base for Kaleni. And her subclasses will become apparent as we continue on.
So this will be fun. So Arner gestures out towards the cliffs, says, "Now, this, as you stand yourself in, is my domain. The higher ups don't actually allow many people to come out here. The only one with the authority to allow visitors is myself. Many of you have probably heard the tales of the original guild leaders, the ones who came together and formed our storied nature. Because they were the greatest story that we have ever told. And that story is of the Skybearers. And with a
Looks
quick
visibly uncomfortable. Alright.
there's a quick bringing of the fingers to his lips, and he whistles, but it doesn't sound like a regular whistle. It comes out as this shrill, almost graveled shriek that seems to carry over the cliffs and almost direct down. And he just kind of stands there afterwards and waits. 1 moment, 2 moments.
That was a fucking impressive whistle, but what are we supposed to be looking for here?
As you say this, a massive griffin flies up over the top of the cliff and lands directly down beside Arner. And it has the face of an owl, and the body is weird. You can't exactly place it. With these two large, almost moose-like antlers that sit on its brow. Now, unfortunately, Salfane cannot carry just myself. Well, can only carry myself. And, well, Volans has her own mount. However, you, my friends, are untested and unchallenged. So I can't guarantee they'll like you, but they'll at least get you where you want to go. And as he finishes, enough of these griffins come and they clatter down onto the ground, and each of them various, again, different kinds of bird and big cat kind of mixing together to create very odd looking griffins. You're pretty sure one of them looks like a vulture and a bobcat. It's very funny looking. But these are what Arner is seemingly trying to provide as mounts.
What's the weirdest one here?
Probably the vulture bobcat.
Absolutely going for that one.
I'm not surprised.
What are our other options?
You have one that almost looks like a harpy eagle and a snow leopard, and then the other one that is there is like if you mixed a tiger and have you ever seen a shoebill stork?
Yes, I have. Yes.
Yeah, it's just big and angry looking.
I'm gonna attempt the snow leopard hybrid over here. Are we
Okay.
gonna need an animal?
And
handling?
sadly enough, because of his size, he has to go to the big guy.
Yeah. This one kind of looks like almost agitated that you're getting on its back, but
Oh,
all
no,
it really
no, hold on,
does.
hold on. He doesn't get on his back yet. He actually stands in front of it and uses speech of beast and leaf and explains everything to him.
I love a furbolt.
Hey, technically, he actually has advantage on the check.
Oh boy. Okay. So let me see here. So the big what would be the shoebill stork and the tiger. Ooh, nice animal handling from freaking Kaleni. Damn. All right, that thing is like putty in your hands. That's like a nat 20. You're basically rubbing the belly of this griffin already. With I'll you know what, Okamus, give an animal handling check, and I will say with advantage because you were able to speak to it.
Meanwhile, Kaleni is out here praising hers, telling it what a beautiful beast it is. And that if
23.
the Underdark had creatures such as this, she would already rule over everything. She's so proud of it. It is so glorious.
Nice. So Okamus, the shoebill stork looking guy just kind of looks at you for a second and pays very close attention to your eyes, and for some reason it bows its head and then lowers itself for you. And since Volans has her own mount, I'll let you have some fun with whatever combination you decide to choose for insanity.
Volans is a snow leopard with the body, like, well, obviously, like, much larger, but a dove.
Yeah.
We continue the theme of white.
I love that.
It is elegance and ferocity combined.
That is beautiful, actually.
Aaron is not quite like stepping up onto his yet, but he kind of just like looks over at Arner. Well, is there any way to like is it supposed to be a dominance thing or something else?
More of a mutual partnership and hoping it doesn't eat you.
Yes.
I'd like to fucking see
you
it
have to
try.
show it that you would also
Give
kill it.
give an animal handling check, and honestly, I'm gonna say with disadvantage because of that question. So you see
Aaron doesn't get
this,
to ride it. Darren gets grabbed by the back of his shirt in the maw and is simply carried the entire way.
yeah, just like full palm like on the top of Danny, because I'm gonna call him Danny for the rest of the session, and like is almost pinning him down and like looks unbothered. This like weird fucking vulture. Before I'm guessing everybody gets on and we're set and ready to go. And yes, this current Bobcat Vulture Griffin is carrying Danny by like not even like the collar, but by the cape. Like almost hoping he falls off.
Will it be a deception or a performance to pretend like she's unafraid?
Deception?
Are you hiding it? Are you
Yes.
trying? You're lying. Then deception.
Absolutely, she's absolutely trying to
Deception. Because you are pretending. Y'all can we can insight this is if you wanna.
You know what? Arner will for funsies.
And that was an 18 for Volans,
That's a 27 for Arner. Good luck.
which was
It's
pretty
a
good.
20 for Darren.
Darren and Anna.
Ooh. Okumas knows nothing. Okumas is very distracted by his mouth with that crit fail right there.
He's just
First
like
crit fail
Stork
of the
Quill.
night.
Stork Quill. That's it.
Both
That's it.
look over at some point during the flight and you realize that Kalene's usual confidence is not quite there. She's putting up quite the brave face, but under that is absolute sheer terror. She is absolutely horrified that
Poor
she's
thing.
high up. She is grabbing that mount and holding it like it is the only thing that could possibly keep her alive right now. And if you look really closely, she's muttering a prayer in Undercommon, very, very quietly.
Well, at least you're fucking sitting on it.
Just gets carried.
Shut up! If you were nicer to yours,
There's just
maybe you'd be
bugs.
sitting
There's just
through.
bugs slapping all over Darren's face every few minutes.
Every character that's not Raminor that Riley plays ends up getting the fucking shit end of the stick.
Yeah.
That's because you keep making these tiny people. These tiny ones or these like
These tiny
Angry
little
ones.
assholes. These tiny little angry beans. They're just
you did it for
nuts.
Fort's one shot, you did it for this. It's just
He did it for the one that me and
Riley
him were
has
in.
two modes. It's bean or tiny asshole.
I want to argue that, but I can't even. It's true.
Alrighty.
Oh, okay.
What's Thorin then?
Sad boy.
Fair.
That's your third mode. You have 3 modes: Beam, Tiny Asshole, and Sad Boy. That is it. Anyways, we're flying. Okay. You go. You are high above in the sky, traveling far across this continent. Now you're driving over plains and valley and mountain and wood all in quick succession, much faster than any other non-magical means that you could have even taken. But it still takes a while, even on these mounts, and you do have to stop and rest the mounts every so often because, I mean, they're living creatures. They need to be fed and watered and rested as they're flying. So you arrive, well, we'll leave the arrival to as we figure it out. But you can see the lights of the capital city in Sylvatica late into the night. They're coming up in the distance, and Volens does let you know we're coming close. How do we want to approach this? You guys are coming into the city with giant flying griffin creature things.
Arner is going to turn to the rest of the group. Just like, I'm going to say a few miles outside of the city. I think it might be best to actually leave the griffins out of sight and maybe approach on foot from thereafter. The walk won't be long, and at least then we still have an element of surprise. Now, sure, we can talk our way through the gate, and that is the plan. But, you know, griffins of this kind in Sylvatica, where we're not necessarily seen as the most well-liked of folk, it might be safer that way. And hide any markings that you may possess of the guild. I know that is technically against our pride, but pride doesn't matter if you're dead.
Marcus would just very simply see the fact the lights are coming up and just agree completely with Arnie, just be like, yeah, we go out, we land here, walk in, and we're fine.
Is there like a decent patch of trees or like some sort of outcropping of land, like a hill or something, a valley that we can like set these guys down in and let them hunker down?
Highs or lows?
Highs. I'm feeling lucky.
It was a 3. There is not. The surrounding area of the city is mostly just kind of a sort of hilly plains.
Right.
Grassland.
Then you know what? Let me check the spells here, because I might have a way to get around this. Where are you? Okay. So, actually no. That won't work. That's only a 20-foot sphere, or a 20-foot cube, and these are a lot bigger together than a 20-foot cube. So, right. Well, we are hopefully only the size of small birds to them right about now. We're still a few miles out. If we can set them down, maybe at least in that regard they can find their own safety. I can call them back on a whim, but
We've got our DM in the chat right now, guys. Everybody say hi to Ford.
Hey, Ford.
Hi, Ford.
Please continue. We just needed to say hello to the DM.
Yes, absolutely. So if we set them down far enough away, we'll still only look like small birds, hopefully. In that regard, we can still have them find their own safety and find their own hiding place. And I can call them back on a whim, but if we get too close, we are basically sitting ducks.
Oh, Marcus is just gonna pet his mount. It's like, no, we let them, we let them take us down now. That way they can do what they need to, and we do what we need to.
Exactly. Any objections?
Don't feel like I have much of a fucking say down here.
You really don't, honestly. I don't know how this
Hey,
one
Riley.
hasn't dropped you yet.
Highs or lows?
We'll say highs.
That was a nat one. You swallow a big ass moth as you open your mouth to speak.
Oh,
He's just gonna struggle to breathe for a couple minutes.
Right, let's take them down.
There's a whole new meaning to Mothman.
Mothman.
Oh man.
Okay.
Right.
The only reason the
So-
others aren't is because we've got like the head of the mount in front of them. So mounts
I'm
are
pretty-
eating bugs. They're not.
I'm pretty sure every so often, like, Salphine is, like, reaching her beak out and, like, grabbing certain small animals from the air.
Okay. The mounts settle down a couple miles away from the city gates.
Eleni is gonna scratch hers and be like, "You're a good beastie. You didn't drop me. I very much appreciate it. I'll see you in return."
Valid.
Perhaps, he turns to, Okamis and to, Kaleni? Yes, Kaleni. And says, you know, you did rather well with them. Who knows? Perhaps they'll deserve a name rather soon. And there's a smile to that. There's a bit of like, yeah, you know what, you did good. You didn't die. Everything's fine. And as they get down, he is going to where is this here? He's just wait, what am I doing? He's going to ooh, actually, when they're on the ground, they do fit into a 20-foot cube. So what he's going to do is he's going to cast Major Image as they go down to seem almost like it makes like a dome, but like in a way that like sprawls out and kind of just makes like a tiny hill that's only high enough to cover all of the beasts. So perhaps it will add some extra cover over top of them. Right. I think it's time we go. But we're following you on this one, Voland, so...
When we reach the
Okay.
gate, we will need the quick tongues in the group to take the lead. And she quickly waves a hand over her face, and her appearance changes as she casts Disguise Self. She is far too recognizable as she is. And she has a cloak pulled up, but under the cloak, her hair turns just kind of muddy brown. Her skin becomes the kind of tan of someone who works a lot under the sun. Her clothes change and become a lot more peasant's clothes. And oh, look, she has eyes, just, you know, where they should be. Just dull brown eyes. Everything to appear ragged and very, very average.
And Darren is staring down his griffin.
That bird happens to be looking at Danny. Like, you know, I could have made a meal of you. I really could have. It's still an option. It's in no words, just like the look of like, you are small enough to fit down my throat.
Eleni sees that and kind of like pets her one and says, "You're a good beastie. I like you."
I'm
Right.
so glad you picked the vulture. That one was gonna be the most ornery motherfucker.
We
I wanted to pick the vulture.
So he gets
Yeah,
that
it's a good
general
thing you didn't.
message. He gets the general message that he's small enough to be eaten. Is that what that's what he got?
Yes, yes. The
So
general
he
idea
just
of like you are food.
he's staring him down with like this angry look, and when he gets that feeling from it, he just grins
anyways,
and then looks away and joins the group.
Volans begins leading them down the road, and she uses a quarter staff, kind of like a walking stick, and not in the sense like the way she uses it doesn't say she has to use it. She's not using it in the way someone would a stick to like lead themselves. She walks very much with the confidence of someone as if she could see, and just continues on down the road. It takes you a bit, and as you come kind of within a good range of eyesight of the gate, she slows her steps to follow behind Arner and the others, just trying to stay kind of out of sight, and says to Kaleni and Arner, "This is where you come into play. Get us through, hopefully without trouble."
As we're by the way, as we're actually walking in, as we get closer, Okamas would also use the sky self to make himself about as tall as the group and change his gray skin to tan to kind of blend in a little bit more.
Probably a good idea. You already stick out like a sore thumb.
But my thumb's not sore.
That it isn't, my large friend.
This party is Bean, tiny asshole, spicy drow, and snark as hell tiefling.
Guilty as charged. Anyways, so Arner is going to nod to Volans and look to Kaleni. Well, silver tongues await. And he is going to walk up directly to the gate like nothing is wrong. Absolutely nothing. And by the way, at this point, the horns and the hand is covered in the glove, horns are gone. Nothing. Looks like a normal ass dude.
You come up and it's, giant gates thing. They're open, but on either side of these gates stand guards. There's two on the outside, right where you are. You can see a couple more kind of milling about on the inside, and you see the city beyond. There's people wandering the streets and nightlife. Not as much as, a thriving city, but there's people. And as you approach, one of the guards just holds out his spear. "Stop. It's your business."
A business?
More pleasure, actually.
This is to walk right in. And she kind of smiles and says, "A little bit of shopping never hurt a lady and her friends."
Absolutely, darling. And of course, it's not much business as it is pleasure. We've heard such good things about your lovely city, and I really do hope that we won't be causing any trouble for you to just let us in. Us and our party, we've been traveling quite a ways, and, well, we were come at the promise of hospitality.
Food, a bed, a bath. Do you think there's somewhere around here that we could get a massage?
Oh, I do so hope so.
And would you like to roll persuasion there?
I need deception, because you're talking about all these good things you've heard of the city, and everything Bolin said was this city is on the verge of collapse.
I have a +7 to deception. What do you have?
I have a +12, I believe, to deception.
Yeah, take that advantage. If it was persuasion, I had a +13, but whoo!
just take it like she's flirting. Like she knows this place is a hot mess, but that guard's kind of cute and she's just playing with him.
I wanted to see how bad these men fell for it. Yeah. Wait, let me pull up the sheet real quick just to see exactly how bad.
You just have
These
Thomas listening to everything with a completely confused face, like, huh?
Aaron's just hanging off of the back of Okamos.
It's okay, little bean. It's okay.
It's all right. You don't have to understand. We understand.
Considering one guard got a 6 and the other one 17, close, but still 10 below what you had, completely fooled, utterly hoodwinked, and the one that you are specifically talking to goes red in the face. At the fact that this absolutely stunning drow woman is seemingly interested in him, and just I don't know about massages. Just like completely has no idea what to do anymore.
Darling, just open up the gate and I can teach you everything you need to know about massages a little later.
Oh god.
And she's gonna wink and expectantly expect him to open up the gate and just let him on in.
The dude, like, his eyes go wide. Like, you look at this man, he's probably in his early 20s. And you get the sense this is the kind of guy who just needed a job and is doing this because he needs to work. And then it just, okay. And he, like, quickly turns around and like yells at the people to like open the gate, and the gates slowly start to open, and he gives you this kind of like lopsided smile and just how do I find you later?
She pulls out a small piece of parchment and on it is her name, and it's in a love heart, and she says, "You can sending me anytime you wish, darling." And she just walks right into the city, and she makes sure to walk with like a confident little swagger of her hips so that, he knows where to be looking. She doesn't know what direction she's walking in, so she's just walking and hoping to heck that her team is following and that they will eventually turn a corner out of his line of sight. But with that 27, it looks totally natural.
Arner is gonna walk past this gentleman with the passive 19 insight and the clear, obvious, smitten appearance, and just be like, "Careful, boy, that one will suck you dry." And he just keeps walking.
And here we have a flashback to last week's one shot.
Yes.
Insert flashback here.
Insert nightmare horrors of Sonata.
Okamis is just gonna walk in and just be like, okay.
As they walk past, Darren will just give a little wave to the guy as he's just hanging on the back of Okamos.
And the guy just kind of like,
I wonder whose kid is that?
yeah. And Volans is
Carrying
just
2 rapiers. I wonder whose kid that is.
yes. Volans keeps her head down, tracks on right in behind you guys. And once they're in and kind of you just walk straight for a little bit, she comes up towards the front. Well, that took a lot less time than even I estimated.
I know how
Thank her.
I do.
She turns her face towards Kaleni, and the hallucinatory eyes look to her and just, men, am I right?
You know what? All they see is a pretty face, and they never ever see the knife. And she kind of shrugs and just keeps walking. Like,
So, by the way, Darren has a beast sense connection with his mount, so he
Do
knows if
you
anything
now?
happens to the mounts.
But I
How
thought your mom
far?
didn't like you.
Particular barbarian
Yeah, no,
feature.
understood. But isn't there a range on that spell? Yeah.
No,
All right. Once you're safely in and out of eyesight, Mullet stalks the group. Question becomes, what do we do now? It's late. We've had quite the long journey. Do we want to rest for the night and prepare, or do you all want to attempt to tackle this right now?
I think we bed down. Might be for the best. We don't want to risk ending up going too far past our limits. But then again, considering how quickly we talked our way through that situation, I don't think we'd have much of a problem getting right to the king himself.
Everything in the palace will be quite as easy as the gate, at least from what I hear of how great the king's paranoia has become.
He can be paranoid all he wants. Not like he'll learn anything from it.
Okamas just shrugs. He doesn't know.
Let's see. Who wants to take the lead on? Does the party is everybody like, should we rest, or are people leaning towards going straight in?
I
Entirely
think,
up to the group.
I would say rest. I know we technically don't need it, but like we did travel for a day, and we don't want to risk a point of exhaustion.
Yeah,
Mhm.
rest.
Cool. Who wants to take the lead on looking for a tavern, because Volence is, kind of at a detriment.
as an urban bounty hunter, can I find one easier?
I'm also an entertainer. So
As well as I.
able
Oh.
to-
The other two. I mean, Darren definitely could, but like his knowledge would be like, yes, this seedy place that we probably shouldn't go to when we are on such a high profile thing. Whereas the other two can easily just kind of like, as they're listening to the sounds of the streets and the talk of people nearby, are getting the sense of, yes, the industry of, bed, breakfast, tavern, inn is this way, and we could probably do that fairly easy.
Fair enough, and I say we go.
Party will follow after you two, and you find. Let's do a fun little thing here. You find Heighten's Tavern, and enter in, and it is your average tavern inn kind of place. Nothing really out of the ordinary inside.
Right,
It is
well,
not very populated. I will note that, for some place that, and any normal city would probably still have, even at this late hour, the local drunks and the late night young people out for fun. There's only a couple people around.
Is there a designated tavern keep right now? Or?
There is. You see a young woman behind the bar, just kind of cleaning out a cup.
Then Anna is going to make his way directly there. Excuse me, miss. I don't mean to be of much trouble, but my friends and I are looking for a place to bed down, and well, we've heard word on the street that this isn't too bad of an establishment. What perhaps would the room cost us?
She looks up and seems genuinely surprised that anybody is actually here and looking for a room at all, and just, that would depend on the kind of room you're looking for. We have the shared rooms. Those will run you a couple copper a night, and then we have the individual rooms that are a little nicer, and those will run you a silver, and then we have the suites, which will cost you a couple of gold that come with everything, and she looks up the stairs, have vacancies in all areas.
He's going to smile at this woman And it's definitely the vibe of like, you're rather cute, aren't you? Well, let me ask you this: how many people really come through here all that often?
Not many anymore. You must not be from around here. And she kind of gives you that, like, yeah, you're a tourist kind of look. And the longer you look at her, the more you can tell, like, this woman isn't leaning towards the nicer side of anything. She's probably missed a few meals this week. She's not anywhere near starving, but I mean, she doesn't look quite as healthy as someone who runs an establishment like this should. And just kind of, we don't get much, tourism as we used to. People aren't coming here for the libraries or the schools like we used to. No one's around.
I can understand. It seems not many nice things have come through here in a while, which is rather unfortunate for someone of, well, beauty. And he kind of gives. He's playing sly. He's having his fun. Well, then if that's the case, he's going to reach in to his pouch, and he is going to produce 3 platinum pieces. He's going to set them on the table, slide them forward. Those will be for the shared rooms. And if you happen to wish company tonight, well, you'll know where mine is.
No one's surprised, are they?
No.
Hey, listen,
Just
Arner
a
was waiting.
communal shake of the head. Oh, God.
Everybody is not surprised.
It's
Who would be
Arner.
surprised?
She's more thrown by the fact that you've just rolled over 3 platinum, which is probably more than she's seen in even a couple of years. Ever handed by anyone. And just doesn't question it. Takes it, pockets it, hands you a couple of keys, and just that way. First set of doors to the left.
Darren swings
you
off
for
of
your-
Okamos. Sorry. Darren swings off of Okamos onto one of the bar stools and just kind of slides over 3 gold pieces. I want a sweet. And I want some stout if you have it.
She pockets it.
Arner
and
just paid for all
turns
of your rooms.
He just
She-
completely ignores Arner.
Right.
She-
Well, while you're
Yeah.
dealing with this one, my offer still stands, and he is just gonna be a little shit and flick another platinum and then go up to his room.
Oh,
Darren just
Thomas-
kind of like looks at him like, "You're wasting money. I'm not trying shit here."
He's not wasting
Thomas just
shit. This
takes
is
his-
Arner.
takes his key and just politely nods his head. I'm like, thank you. Then heads upstairs.
Kaleni's looking at all this platinum being thrown around and being like, I thought we weren't into the monetary value thing.
Why do you
guess
think
we
he's spending
are."
so much? He doesn't care.
She's just out here like mentally calculating how to get that money back to the underdog somehow. Like, if this guy's out here just chucking platinum at some girl in some town that we don't even know, oh, you wait till we get home, mister. She's got a
All
sob
you have-
story for you.
All you have to do is ask.
I'm thrown by the fact that Arner has bought shared rooms and is inviting this woman to join him in a room that he will be sharing with other people already.
No. That's 3. That's 4 platinum.
Yeah.
So
I'm
shared
very-
rooms for everyone else, and he's going to be in one of them alone.
I was also confused.
It's like, then why didn't you just buy, the individual rooms?
Because he just did it to be a shit. It's Arner.
None of this surprises me.
She, with the amount of money she just got handed, this woman doesn't care, and there's no one in here anyways. You each get your own individual room.
Fair.
Um,
Fair.
she gives Aaron a key to one of the suites, hands him a stout, and it's not terrible, but it's not the best thing you've ever had. You can tell that like the alcohol here is lacking, probably due to resources.
It's a beer. You don't care.
I assume you all go to your rooms.
Yes.
Cool. Anything you want to do before you go to sleep? Anything at all? You're doing it all.
Arner's just waiting.
Aaron is just going to use absolutely everything he can in the suite to relax.
James, highs or lows?
There's been a pattern, and I'm sick and tired of these games of chances. But I'm feeling lucky. We'll go high. We'll go high. We'll go high. High rollers.
A couple hours later, when everything is settled and done, you hear the knock on your door. I got a 16.
And it's Darren. No.
The first knock's just like Arner's like there, and he's like totally like ready. He's got like a rose between his teeth. Opens the door.
And then he punched the little fucking halfling and then goes back into his room. Okay. So, second knock.
No, he doesn't go.
That would be hilarious.
He's
though.
relaxing.
Come
He's
on.
relaxing. He's relaxing in his suite. He doesn't want to deal with asshole Arner.
Okay, cool. So, knock happens. And you know what? Just because I like the imagery of a rose between his teeth, I'm going to keep it.
I've handed you what you need.
And he opens the door. Well, seems you decided to accept my offer.
It's not exactly many people I actually have around to indulge me. Is there a busy woman?
Well, I promise you, you will not have that problem tonight. And he just gestures inside.
The door closes, everything fades to black. Everyone tries to ignore the banging on the walls for the next few hours in the night.
Kaleni, not only just tries to ignore the banging on the walls for the rest of the night, she very calmly goes downstairs and takes a spot at the table, gets herself a glass of wine, and decides to read a book.
Why do you think Darren got a suite? It's as far away as it can be from the shared rooms.
And
Lenny, can you make me a perception check?
yes, always. She's good at those. Sometimes. Oh wait, I think that's the one she's not good at. It's the one she's not good at, but that's a 15.
Couple hours in, you're reading your book. You hear the faint sound of footsteps, but they're not coming from in the room, and they're not coming from the rooms above. They're coming from the roof. And with that, we are going to take our 10-minute break.
Fair enough.
We'll be back in 10 minutes, guys. Let's see what happens.
All right.
See you guys soon.
Stay with us.
I'm kidding.
Hello, we are back.
Hi, we're back to our regularly scheduled insanity. Real quick before we launch right back into things, the announcement that I promised earlier. Twisted Perceptions. You know, we start a little late, yeah, in the day for campaign things, and we are going to change that. Starting next week, our campaign is going to be starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time rather than 9:30 p.m., which means that we will be playing at 4 p.m. Pacific. So that's going to be up on our socials starting like tomorrow and stuff. We're going to be putting it in places, but you guys get to be the first to know since you're here watching our stream. We are still doing our one-shot series, so for those of you who are watching who are trying to enter in to be with us in these one-shots, we've adjusted the time, so have fun with that. Anyway, back we go into things. We left off with Kalani down in the common area, escaping the sounds of Arner and his tryst with the innkeeper that everyone else is being subjected to currently. Kalani, your perception check told you that you heard what could possibly be the sounds of footsteps on the roof.
Yes, I would like to stealth and check that out if that's okay.
Check it out how?
If they're on the roof, are there stairs up? Usually there are service access stairs to the roof.
You can make me an investigation check to see if you could find the service stairs to the roof.
Absolutely. It will be my pleasure.
Can Danny hear that from the suite?
Make me a perception check.
Nope. That do be an 11.
You can't seem to find it.
Nope. Can I go outside and look up?
Go for it.
That's a 4.
Yeah, no, you don't hear anything. Your ears are down in the bubbles of your bubble bath.
Perfect.
That do be better. Outside, that is an 11. That is an 18.
You can hear them. They're on the roof. And with an 18, you see two figures. And as you step outside, you watch one of them slip inside of a window on the upper floors where the rooms are.
Oh, she doesn't like that at all. She's gonna go inside and stealth up the stairs to the hallway of the rooms.
Give me a stealth check.
Nope, that's an 11.
You're trying to be sneaky, but this place is kind of old and you're not familiar with it, so you manage to step on quite a few of those really creaky floorboards on accident. You're trying, but you don't know the place.
Hey, look, if her deception's that good, she's already got like a lie in place. Oh, she lost her way to her room. Can I go to yours instead, dear sir? She's already prepping lines in her head.
I lost my key to my room and I want to go to bed. Can I have yours?
Literally her right there. So she's just like planning this out.
So what are you doing when you get upstairs?
Can she see anyone?
The doors are closed.
Then she is going to slowly walk across the rooms, listening for somebody breaking into someone's room.
Give me another perception check.
Nope.
You cannot seem to figure out where anything is. Anyone, you hear nothing other than the sounds of Arner and his current escapade. That's probably why you can't hear anything, is over the sounds of banging.
Good lord. The sounds just, she's just like looks at the door that Arner is in and mutters, "That's what silence is for. Invest."
Just in that moment, it seems Arner had a moment of clarity and he cast silence on the room.
She's just like, God, if you're going to enjoy yourself, Do it quietly. If you want to be
You-
loud, do that,
that-
where we can hear you.
That 9 perception, you can't seem to figure it out. Not by listening,
No.
anyway.
So she's just kind of gonna stand and loiter in the hallway, like one leg cocked against the wall, leaning back, just waiting because they may have to come out at some point. And now that the room is silenced, it's not as awkward. She can almost pretend that she doesn't know what it sounds like when Anna is enjoying himself now.
No one comes out into the hall. You wait a while. Nothing seems to happen.
And
So
Darren's
right
missing in the morning.
She's gonna go back downstairs and read her book, see if she hears anything else. She only needs 4 hours, so she'll wait until there's only 4 hours.
Anyone else? Anything in the night?
Danny's just, or not Danny, Darren's just relaxing.
We've gotten to you.
Been said so many times to other people.
All right. The night passes otherwise uneventfully for most of you. And you wake up in the morning. What do you do?
I don't
Arner,
know what
you can't
I'm
do
doing
shit.
here. Yeah, no, I figured.
Okamus is just gonna stretch out like he normally does. And he's going to walk out and downstairs. Try to see about breakfast.
The innkeep is down there, and she is, she's got some color in her cheeks, and she looks in a lot better of a mood than she did the night before. And you've got, it's not the best thing. There's some bread for you, some eggs and some cut up fruit, but that's about the best she can offer you when it comes to breakfast. And coffee. There's coffee.
Okamus is just gonna look at it, look up at her, smile at her, and be like, "Thank you. This looks to be one of the best meals I've ever had." And he's going to quietly eat it and enjoy it.
Aw, the bee.
She looks touched and continues on about her work.
And yeah,
Darren?
that's all he's gonna do. He's gonna be eating breakfast.
Yeah.
Kaleni's just gonna tell her party mates about the footsteps. And then she's gonna shoot Anna a look and say,
Arner's not
"Shame
there.
I couldn't hear them when I got upstairs."
Arner's not there.
Not at all.
Arner's
Arner
Not
has not
at
left his
all.
room.
Darren hasn't left his room either.
So it's just her and Okana?
Yeah.
Yep. So she's just gonna tell him about the footsteps.
And he's gonna fork halfway to his mouth with some of his breakfast on there. I wonder what they wanted.
Well, they climbed in a window, so I assume they wanted something.
He's gonna think about it and be like, maybe if we count how many windows it is from the side, we can kind of see what room they went into upstairs.
I tried, and I couldn't work it out, but maybe if I point at the window, you can work it out. And she leads him outside. And points
Smart
to the
bean.
window.
Plate. Yum. Not even by the time, as she's walking out, he's like, but I want it. He's just gonna scarf it down and just thank you. And walk outside with her.
You go outside.
all he's gonna do when we get outside, he's gonna be like, he's gonna turn back to the building. I'm like, which window is it?
And she's gonna point at the window that she saw them climb through.
It's the third one to the left.
He's gonna go. He's gonna look at the window. Be like,
It's still open.
oh, it's open. How high is it from the floor?
It's a 2-story building, so like, what's that, like 15 feet up?
Okay, sweet. So he has more than enough movement.
Monks.
Monks. I'll be right back.
Kalani sees him getting ready to climb up and she sighs and she's like, maybe I should also climb up.
No, actually, what he's gonna do is, very simply, he's gonna look at her. He's gonna bend down, like, climb on my back and hold on.
You know what? I've traveled stranger ways. And she absolutely does and wraps her arms around like his upper shoulders and holds on.
Your Vogue piggyback.
Since he is like 8.5 feet tall, technically it's just like forced. I mean, he just has to go not even that up higher.
And she's 5'9". She's not that much shorter than him.
He's just like, okay. He climbs up with her, and then he just kind of like, he does like one of these right by the windowsill, like, aww.
The room is empty. Did any of you pay attention to who went to what rooms last night?
I would assume that Kalani would have noticed which rooms her friends went to.
This one was Volance's room.
Oh no.
He's gonna blink.
Oh.
He's gonna look. And he's gonna be like, Valence?
No answer. Doesn't even look like anyone got to sleep in the bed.
And then what he's going to do is he's going to turn his shoulder a little bit towards the window, and he's gonna say, it's easier for you to get in through here than it is for me to get in through the window.
Yep.
So pretty much he's telling her, climb through the window, look at the room.
She's gonna climb through the window. Do you need an acrobatics for her to do so?
You're being helped by him. I assume he just kind of like hopes you get up in there, so don't even worry about it.
Cool. Once she's in the room, she's gonna start investigating to see if she can understand what happened.
Make me an investigation check.
Would help if I could find the correct channel to do so.
You can't figure anything out, not with that 9.
No.
Nope. No clue.
And
She-
Darren's awake now.
She calls out and she's like, I'm sorry. I
He's
don't know.
He's gonna
I
look to
think-
her, and he's gonna say, I'm gonna go in from inside. Just open the door.
Okay.
And then he's just gonna hop off of the wall, drop down, go inside, all the way up back upstairs.
She would not be so bean-like, but he's such a bean that the bean in me responds like a bean. She absolutely is not that bean-like in her response. It was automatic.
But as he's actually going upstairs, he would go to.
You run into Darren.
He's like, oh, perfect. And he's going to. What he's gonna do, he's gonna be very simple. He's going to pick up Darren, turn him around, and point him like, can you go help Kalani? apparently Volans is missing. Help her find out what happened.
Oh the fucking gods! And he goes.
And then as Darren's going over there, and he's just smiling because like, hey, I got him to help. He's gonna walk over to Arner's room, and just knock. But it's like
Can he respond?
Yeah, he can respond.
He tries to knock really lightly, like not trying to wake him, but it's like still like, oh hey. Instead, it comes out as thump, thump, thump.
I could use a bit of assistance.
He's gonna open the door.
It is unlocked.
In.
What does he see? What should I know?
Based on the rolls that we did over the break, behind the screen, Arner's got his wrists up above his head like this. His legs are to the posts at the opposite end. And the only thing covering his manhood is the sheet.
I seem to have gotten myself in a bit of a bind.
Well, darling, if you're not very good at untying knots, maybe you shouldn't be the one in them. And she walks over and starts untying him.
The point is fun. You're not supposed to get out.
Well, Volans is missing, so I would assume that, we have a problem.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes, spit spot, up you get, let's go.
Spit spot.
Not even worrying about fucking clothes at that point. Arner is fucking out the door and in the room.
Empty room?
Can I make an investigation check? Okay, I have a +4. Dice gods, help me.
And Darren
plus
leaves the
6,
room.
But a 9 is still a 9.
That's a 22.
Much better.
Hey!
You enter the room and can immediately see signs of struggle. The bed might not have been slept in, but there's something wrong about the sheets, like it was put back into place by someone who doesn't make it the way that they're supposed to make it in this place. It's not, particular style that the innkeep likes to do it. You notice some finger marks along the floor and a ripped piece of white cloth in the windowsill that the others missed before. It's very small.
Arner is going to look out the window, and I'm guessing Kalani mentioned, that there were people on the roof at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Does it look like they went up the same way that they came in, or did they go down and try to go through the streets?
You see, it looks like they went down through the streets.
Okay, Arner is going to at least find a pair of pants and throw those on, and grabs his gear, but is rushing to put it on as he goes downstairs. And do I need to roll again, or can we use the same investigation check in order to find which direction they may have went?
You're gonna have to roll for me again. You're going outside. It's daytime.
That's fine.
I'm pretty sure that the three of us at this point would just be
Nope, that's a fucking 6.
You've lost it. Anything that you could have found has now been erased by the morning traffic along the streets.
Right.
Oh, wait. Anna, question. Can I roll a survival check to see if there's anything that kind of would be any traces that one of the thieves guild would leave behind in case they ever got captured or needed assistance of any kind?
You can try.
Okay.
Like breadcrumb trails.
Yeah, pretty much. Never mind. I see nothing.
You see a butterfly
Ooh, pretty butterfly.
with that crit fail.
Darren went
Limited
back to
play.
his Darren went back to his room, geared up, kind of like double checked the room, not as in like a full investigation, but like make sure no one else was still in there, and then went downstairs and tried to find where Arner went.
Right. Well, we only have one place we need to fucking go, and we need to do it fucking quickly. I think I'm gonna be taking a few eyes quicker than expected. And there was sly, snarky Arner. However, whatever guise he is able to put on his horns and his eyes starts to slip, and instead of what would normally be almost these like yellow, just like regular people eyes except for the yellow color, they are now just this pulse of crackling purple. So we are going to go now. We are going to collect our mage, and we're going to make sure that a king never sees the light of day again. Understood?
Okamus, being Okamus. That almost rhymed.
Yes, well, I am a bard. And Arner's just walking, and he knows exactly the direction to go towards the kingdom. He is...
It's not that hard to find the castle. It's
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah. It's,
Remember that we were going to be sneaky.
Yes, well, we'll be sneaky. But only long enough for me to get my hands around that fucker's throat.
Absolutely.
He gone. He's
not-
walking.
She's walking next to him. She's not just gonna
Yeah.
like stop in the middle of the road to have this conversation. She's walking
Yeah.
with him. And she's like, remember now, this is for Volans. We're here for Volans, which means if you put her life at risk, we're kind of wrecking the idea of her getting back her kingdom.
So we talk, we get to the king, we get the information we need. I cast Zone of Truth on the fucker to make sure he tells us where the fuck Volans is, where her eyes are, and then I pluck his from his skull, and then we go find her.
I think I lost you somewhere in the zone of truth. That's one step too far. You need a locate object for the eyes, and you need to ask the maids for where she is. Because you know where maids can't go? Dungeons. They know everything. So ask them where they're not allowed to clean, where they're not allowed to take food, and you will most likely find Volans and her eyes. Have you never done an inside job before in your life? And she's still walking with him, trying to convince him to be sneaky.
The entire time that they're walking, like when Darren comes out, very simply, Okamus once again, without actually asking him permission, just
No. He already climbed up you.
Okay.
Just hanging off your back.
Like a friggin' tree.
Just
Yes.
making sure.
Squirrel meat tree.
Just making sure. And Okamus is already walking.
You know,
Just
he doesn't
thinking
like
behind
being
the other
picked
two.
up.
I assume you all make your way towards the castle.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now is where we attempt to use the foundry thing. Those of you still watching, we are going to attempt to use foundry for our battle match for the first time ever. Bear with us. There we go. Everybody to foundry.
Now, just to let everybody know who's watching, due to the fact that this was going to be a testing of the Foundry system, for us anyway, we were not going to air it. So,
Yeah.
But in future episodes, you may end up seeing the maps.
All right. You approach the castle, and that is what you see. You see the battlements outside that close up around the actual main castle in the center and the castle grounds within. But as far as you see, Ridge, there's not actually that, like, I used a random battle map. It's not exact of what I wanted. Don't care. Ignore the river. It's just from city into castle. There are high walls of the battlements and one gate in, the main gate that you guys see there.
And once again, she looks to Anna and says, "Do you have any information on why we could reasonably be here?"
Actually, it's quite simple. And Arner's gonna walk up and say, "Now listen, we can all be friends here, can't we?" And
No.
he is in fact going to cast Friends.
Oh no.
There are two guards that you can see at the front.
Yes, absolutely. He's going to use it on one, whichever one looks the most agreeable, and the one who probably has higher rank.
What's the save?
There is no save. Friends just means I have advantage.
Ah.
So, he's going to walk up. I apologize, but we do actually have urgent news from the king. It's rather imperative. We might have actually been able to find some resources in order to actually help bring prosperity back to the kingdom. We were sent on a rather secretive mission, so I understand that you haven't seen us before, but please understand it is of the utmost importance. And we really, really need to see him. And it's a good thing I have a plus 13 to persuasion, because I'm about to roll that at advantage and fucking get us in this building.
Advantage persuasion or deception? You're lying on all ends of that.
Actually, yeah, true. It would still be advantage. It's on all charisma checks. So... That's a 21. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
What'd you say it was?
21.
Okay. The man blinks and looks at you and just shocked, one, that you were so brazen to come up to him in such a manner, and two, with your information and everything, and you carry yourself with such a confidence about it that, I mean, he has really no reason to not believe you, and just kind of, oh, okay, in, and turns around, orders about things, and the other ones follow along and open up the gates inside. And you may all move your little tokens as you go. When I do that, give me a sec. There we go. Now you can move.
Yeah, so we're going through
I
here.
have like people over the top of mine, and I don't know why.
I can't move my screen any further for some reason.
You will use the little roller thing on your mouse to scroll out. Right click to move the map around.
I don't have that.
Right click to move your map. That's what allow you to move it further.
Oh.
Hey David.
Yeah.
There we go.
I have like mini U's over the top of my character. Like two of them.
I will move you for you. Here you go.
So I can.
No, I can move me. I can move me around, but I still have too many Orcanos over the top of mine.
Yeah.
And this is why I told you all. Bear with us.
I know. I'm just letting you know that I can see them, and I don't know what they do or why they're here.
We'll have to figure that one out later.
Okay.
Because that's just a weird thing.
And I can see one over Anna too.
Yes, I see. Yeah. So.
Ignore them.
Yeah.
If you zoom in, they become smaller, and you can ignore them. Anyway, you've entered the castle grounds. You see mildly kept gardens. You see guards milling about on patrol, servants over by stables and the well. But word gets passed from guard to guard, at least on the outside of the castle, and they don't stop you.
Right.
And the main castle is this way.
Right. Arner's gonna turn to Kalani. Now listen. If you want to talk to the servants, That's fine. Get whatever information you can. I am going to act as the distraction. I'm
To
going to go
find
talk to
his...
the king.
Well,
I'm going
that...
to talk to the king. Hold on. If I have his attention and I get thrown away, that still leaves you out here, possibly with the others if they don't wish to come with me, to get the information you need and to get Volans. That is the priority. That is the only priority. I don't even care if we end up ending this king. She is the priority.
If she was such a priority, you would do it properly. You're risking her by going in half-cocked.
I'm not risking anything. I'm making sure I have my pieces where I need them.
Then tell us the full plan.
The plan is, one way or another, we're going to get into that dungeon. Now, if I don't succeed on sweet-talking the king, which, keep in mind, I've done plenty of times before, whether he's paranoid or not.
She kind of like literally gestures from head to toe of her, and she's like, which of us looks like we might be able to sweet talk a king? And she kind of like spins real slow for him.
Not gonna lie, Okamus, who would be close to, who would still be close by, is gonna kind of whisper to Arner, "I think she has you beat."
She's just like gonna be like, this is why you hired me though. Like, this is literally why you hired me.
Fine.
I'd like to point out you all still need to find the king.
There's that too.
Right.
You want to stab the man. I want the information. So I'm not going to potentially look like I want to stab the man at any point. He's all yours. You get to do whatever you like to him. I promise I won't take
there's a moment where like she can definitely see the wheels turning in his head of the various different things that Narner definitely wants to do, and most of them probably fall under the category of war crimes to this king. Fine, fine, fine. What do you suggest?
I suggest we look like diplomats, here for a meeting. I suggest we look tidy and presentable, and we present ourselves to the butler, and we tell him that we have an appointment, or that we'd like to make one.
Aaron climbs up Okamas' shoulder, still wearing his fancy clothing.
Real quick,
And sits on his shoulder.
Arner, you suddenly hear in the back of your mind, real quiet, I know you're here. And it's not Volens's voice. It is a voice you have never heard before. Masculine in nature. And it sounds very, very smug.
Can I respond to this?
But already.
Right. Well, here's the problem. He already knows we're here.
Well, yes, I would assume that any king, even a failed one, would have noticed once his guards were charmed. So let us try and explain ourselves away. A little. Maybe. Maybe convince him that we don't care for Volans.
I hate to break it to you. I hate to break this to you. I really do. But at this point, we are going to walk into there no matter what we do, and we're going to walk in to bows and swords. They already have Volans.
We better start.
They already. Great. And Let me see here.
She's absolutely she's going to touch the cobweb tattoo on one shoulder, activating her barrier tattoo. And then she's going to reach up and touch a tiny tattoo of a spider golden on her neck. And her coiling grasp tattoo is ready also.
Right.
Well,
Let's find our way in and do what we have to do.
hearing all of that, Okamas is just gonna hold a very particular dart in his hand, which is a dart of warning.
Arner's got his hands just ever so slightly hovering over the dagger.
And he just holds it in his hand as he puts it on his side again, keeping aware of things. And he's just gonna be like, well, regardless of what, we won't be surprised if anything.
That's what I'm hoping for.
It's
considering
Arner.
we don't know. What?
Do we need a distraction? Considering they already know we're here, would you rather them focus on one of us than all of us?
Honestly, yes.
With that, he climbs down Okamas and kind of just steps back towards, the front gate. He's going to look over his shoulder. I've got it from here, then. And he will charge towards the front gate.
Just before Arner's going to touch Darren on the shoulder. With haste, with luck. Do what
Got
you
plenty
do
of that
best.
myself.
He says your actual name, by the way, so that's bardic inspiration. Take that.
He just gives a sly grin and sprints towards the front. And the most odd thing, you've never seen this before, not from him. He starts getting bigger the farther he moves away. And before he gets to the gate, he's 10 feet tall. And just slams himself through anyone there, breaks as much shit as he can, and gets you that distraction.
Oh, fuck
Ours go running. Just
He went that way. Last message.
you.
You better keep running, boy. And fucking Arner is looking around, spies one of the servants, and just looks to Kalani. Say what you need to say. Do what you got to do. Get the information. We need to run quickly.
She leans towards the servant and she says, "Hello, darling."
You
No.
find a particularly scraggly looking girl.
I can get you out of here with a nice meal and a nice bed. We can get you some books and a bar. How does that sound?
Why?
Well, this entire castle, to be quite frank, is about to be destroyed. And I don't much care for harming the innocent. And you, my darling, look to be quite innocent.
She looks very scared right now, glancing between you and the 10-foot tall halfling and you and the 10-foot tall halfling.
He's like, do you see what I mean, though? Like, that's actually proving my point right here. And she's like, now, I can get you out of here, and no harm will come to you, or anyone you choose. If you can round up others, I will help them get out safely. My word on it. From you, I only need a couple of things.
Like what? She's like clutching a bucket of water she just pulled out of a well to her chest. Like,
poor darling. She's gonna pull out a very fuzzy, tiny little rag doll of a rabbit and say, "Can I swap this for the bucket? Darling, it's softer."
I have to take this to the kitchens, or the cook is gonna be very mad at me.
Okay, we'll walk to the kitchens together. Come now. And she kind of like tucks her under her arm and starts walking with her as they talk.
Arner's gonna
not gonna
come up
argue.
to the side.
She's not arguing at all with the panic brain, and she's like, "Now, what do you know about places servants can't go here? Things you're not allowed to touch, places you're not allowed to be."
I can only go to the kitchens and the well.
You're only allowed the kitchens and the well. Would you happen to know of any places where no one's supposed to go? Places where everyone would be in trouble if they went.
Arner's also going to like flash a platinum and just drop it in the bucket.
Dear God, she now is staring at that and can't even answer. It's more money than this child's ever seen in her entire life.
That's the point. Listen, if you answer the questions, if you cooperate, we can get you out to safety. Just as she promised. We can get you a home. We can keep you safe. We just want where we need to go, which is where you aren't allowed to be.
Nobody goes in the king's room except for the ones that, put him in clothes.
Beautiful. So the king's bedroom is out of bounds. Of course, he is the king. That makes
And
sense.
and the place where he puts his crown.
Where is that? And I would like to make a persuasion check.
Go for it.
Wakama's just standing there, like completely out of his element right now, unsure if he should go help.
24.
Yeah.
That would be a 24.
Child questions nothing.
Yep. So we know exactly where it is that we're not supposed to go. Where does he keep his crown?
I don't know. I can't go on that floor.
Oh, it's a whole
What?
floor. What floor would that be?
Up.
Up
And
the
she
top?
points because you're walking towards the castle, right? And you see there's the ground level where the main entrance is. You see, needs to look at Foundry real quick. There is 2 floors above that roof, and you can see kind of like if you look to the sides, you'll watch like a downward slope to the side. And as the building continues down, you can probably assume that there are lower floors. But she points up at the second set of windows, so that would be like the second floor.
Okay. She's going to smile and say, "Wonderful. Now, is there anybody in here that you care about, or anybody that you would be concerned about should they not get out?"
Look, she's not nice, but she gives me food.
Absolutely. Do you think that you can convince her to come with you to flee?
Oh. Cook
Arner's
doesn't
gonna
give
take
me.
Arner's gonna take a bag, not of platinum this time because he wants to not run low. He's gonna put gold, and he's going to like set it in whatever she can fucking hold it on. It's like,
Okay.
give that to the cook. Tell her she's getting a raise,
To leave.
and
Tell
get
her we're paying her to leave immediately. Get out of the walls. Whatever back tunnels you have, get out.
And then, just for sake of expediency, Arner's going to tap this woman on the shoulder and cast haste. Quickly
And
now.
Based on a child.
Yes.
Before the child leaves, Kaleni's just gonna lean down and whisper, "Find me, and I will make sure you never miss a meal again." And then off she goes.
You just watch the kid skitter off down the side of the castle and like
Yum.
down the like the little slope that there is, and she almost trips and spills her bucket and then keeps going and disappears.
At the speed of friggin' light.
Yes.
Well, Kama's just gonna stand
Not like
there.
a false king. And she just walks in. Like, she owns the place, just walks into the castle.
Arner is following.
Cool. If I can have everyone except for Darren head to the main hall.
Main hall. It is taking forever to load, and it is very dark.
No, we have to get scene access. That's what that is. So we're all on the right scene, but the DM has to say, yes, we can see the map now.
Give me a minute. Working out things with our currently, rampaging party members. I mean, you guys are at the doors. The doors are closed. I assume you open the doors.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Arner is
Go
right
ahead
up front,
and
and
click
he
on those doors.
do-
There you go. And inside, you go and show me what you see.
I can't
As
see
you
the
go
map.
in.
Right. Well,
The doors are open now.
Yeah.
You should be able to pass it. You can move forward.
I can't see the
So
map.
there's two guards currently.
Thank you. Now I can see the map. Nope, it's
Can't
gone again.
see much beyond
What do you
that.
mean it's gone?
I mean, I only have a black screen. It's gone.
You might need to reload.
I have to
You
grab-
may need to refresh.
Right. Now, Arner's gonna look at this situation, and everybody's probably already on high alert because of the charging halfling that just decided to, yeet itself through the friggin' doors of the gate. What's the reaction of these guards as soon as we walk in?
They just stare at you and look immediately on edge.
Okama's
Right.
just gonna wave.
Arner is going to immediately look in a panic, like straight in his face, like it's dire straits situation. There's an attack on the kingdom. You need to run quickly. Some rogue giant halfling decided to pile drive through the main gates. I promise you I'm not making this up. There is a literal commotion going on downstairs, and you need to get there as quickly as possible. We are going to defend the king.
Give me a persuasion check.
Yes. Hang on. Oh, come on.
Part of me wants this to be canon in Slovatica in the text RP that there is a broken chunk out of the main gate
That is a
because of
30.
halfling.
That is
Oh
a
yeah,
30.
these dudes look at each other, look at you, and then go running for one of the side doors. Gone.
And as they're going, make sure you tell all the others. Get all of them out of here.
And they
And it's
just
just
mume off map.
cool. Then Arner is going to move up. We're gonna say to here. And look down the corridors that are now illuminated for me. And there are the two set of stairs. Right. Well, we have two options. Can I make a perception check to see if I can hear or see anything possibly down either of the stairs?
Yeah, go for it.
That's a 27.
So you're listening down the stairwells, not in the main room?
Yeah, he's trying to hear, or if there's any signs of like, somebody was recently down here, anything that might lead him to, Bolence or possibly the king, either way.
Trying to remember which stairways go where. Um, from the hallway that you're in, right bottom stairwell, you can hear the sound of feet and people talking and a fire crackling and just sounds of work happening. From the other stairwell, there's nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Is there anything that he can see down either that would indicate anything that he is specifically looking for? No?
To the right, it goes down, and to the left, it goes up. That's all you've got.
Right, well, we want to go up. So Arner is going to look to the rest of them. It's like, create a panic, make a scene, get everybody out where we need them to be, and then we can fucking get wherever we want. And Arner is going to tap himself on the shoulder and cast haste again, and he is gone 60 feet for the action and bonus action and for the hasted action. He is just going.
Your left stairwell?
Left stairwell?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna go. Oh.
Everyone can move their things.
And we're gonna go right to the top of the stairs and see what we can see.
I cannot move my token for some reason.
I'm watching you move it.
Still hasted, so.
Click on
I'm
your
gonna
token
say,
and then just use the arrow keys to move it.
I'm gonna say he gets about there.
And you went
We're
down
going to the left.
stairwell?
Yeah.
Big ass dining room.
Coming.
Oh, wait, there's a corridor down here. No, we'll stick him there.
Cool. Everyone, I'm going to move you over. Everyone's going to move over to the second floor map.
Second floor. Oh, it is nothing but darkness, but I should have dark vision.
I can see.
I can't see a damn thing. Why is that? Oh, my token's
Because
not
it's
up yet.
dark. Yeah, it is.
Well, then I should have dark vision for 60 feet.
Yeah.
This is what you can see for 60 feet.
Really?
Yeah.
I have 120 feet, and I.
There's a
can
closed door. There's not much more to see.
Can I perception check before I try and open this door?
Go for it.
I can't even see the door.
Give me a hot sec.
Hang on. Let me refresh just to be safe.
I mean, it's a 10. One better than a 9.
When Arner can actually see it, he would try and give. Well, what's your modifier?
6.
+6.
+6. I think mine's a plus. I got put all the way down here again. Why?
Because that's the one.
There we
that
go.
loads you
There we
into-
go. There we go. I'm here. Then I shall make a perception check myself just to see what might be in here. Still looking for any signs. The usual. That's a 28.
You're listening on the other side of the door, right?
Yeah.
Cool. You hear the faint sound of voices. You can't make out what, and kind of the sounds of armor clanking around.
Right. And there's no other way through here, right?
Just the door.
Cool. then Arner is not thinking straight and is still hasted, so he is opening the door. And we're gonna plop him just inside so he can get a bit of the lay of the land. Ah!
Coming from
Well.
different door.
So
Is that what he can see?
you walk in and you see a few things. You can see to the other side of this throne room, the first thing that would be directly across from you, there's Darren. He's small again, being held between two guards, kind of hanging there. Looks a bit beaten, battered, right? Just from whatever he was doing. Over standing before the throne is, you see, I will send this image to you guys so you can see it up close. But you see a man standing there, and kneeling before him is Volence, and he's got her in a grip by her hair. And she's kneeling there, struggling every so often, but she can't seem to get out. This is who you see. And for those watching, can't see this image, stands a very tall figure of a man in armor, and he has weapons at his side with Volan script in front of him. This kind of almost crimson hair, long hair hanging down before him, and ears that kind of betray a half-elven lineage, fair skin, and just these burning blue eyes that stare at the group as they come in. And he just smiles at the party. And then we scroll down to my notes.
Presumably Darren is semi-conscious.
Yeah. Smiles at the party, still holding Volans. So, you wrote me back a traitor. I suppose I should be thanking you. She left in such a hurry and never came back to me. And he looks down at Volans, just the most cruel smile on his face. What happened to you, my mage flower? You used to be so good. You listened to me. You were strong with magic and with this kingdom. Submissive, smart, as you were made to be. She just kind of growls, like deep in her throat. I saw what you truly were when you stole from me my sight, Damon. That's what happened.
Right. Well. See, now I'm not. I thought I was going to be able to talk my way out of this, but clearly that's not the option. So instead, and he is going to cast with haste major image in the center of the room.
Are those both
And-
concentration spells?
Are they?
Yes.
Let me just-
I know haste is concentration. I believe major image is also
Major.
concentration.
Yes, it is. Can confirm.
Okay. Never mind. Instead, what we're going to do is bonus action insightful fighting to start, because this man's is going to take the full effect of my fucking ire. Let me just make sure that I understand this right. Okay, cool. So we'll make the insight check. He has to make a deception check against me.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 19. Come on, dice gods, don't fuck me. Come on, dice gods, don't fuck me.
You rolled a 19?
19.
You got a 24.
It's fine, I can keep doing this every bonus action. I am going to until I get that. Fine. So, since he can't get a beat on this man's, and that was his bonus action, instead, what we're going to cast, as you see a crackling orb appear in his hand, and actually he'll hold this for now and wait for a reaction, but he's preparing Eldritch Blast. 2 beams directly at this man's face. He can't miss. So I'm going to only ask you this once, and I'm going to give you a chance to spare your pathetic life. Put her down.
Eleni is kind of like standing there, thinking about all the possible spells she has to do this as quietly and causing as the least amount of trouble possible, and realizes that that is not where we're going today.
It is not. I'm sorry, you have Volan sitting in front of a Mad King in front of Arner. That is not how this goes.
Yeah, well, you know, you hired her to do a job.
I know,
She's
and I'm sorry.
doing her job.
You did so well.
No, I didn't do really anything.
You got us in, and you got us where we need to go.
So she's just gonna kind of look at the king, and she's gonna cast suggestion to back this as much as possible. She's going to say, I suggest you let Volans go. Why is it not coming up? For some reason,
Just use the
suggestion-
-I command.
Yeah.
Please, please, please.
Checks the sheet I'm using for him. That was a nat 20.
My
And
suggestion
that was lucky because he has that was just lucky. Using for him.
I would like to also add some intimidation to that, if that's okay. Just some natural. She's just scary.
You can.
Honestly,
you are free to.
I kind of want a good roll too.
And
you
that's
know what? Fuck
that's
it.
a 21 for being just a really scary drow.
Can I give her advantage considering I came in here with a big ass threat?
Go for it.
Well, one more time. Let's see. Anything high. Anything high. No, okay. We're sticking with the 21.
He looks at you and you see in his eyes, like, he can tell that you are threatening. You don't scare him.
Yeah, he truly.
You don't
is that.
scare him one bit.
Nope.
And he pulls Volans' head back, pulls out this dagger, and the moment he goes for her, she disappears. And even he looks surprised. And kind of stares down at his hands and looks at you all. What have you done?
Okamas is just
Let
gonna.
it go.
Okamas is gonna look at him and be like,
That's a
I
guild
don't know.
mage.
I'm just standing here.
And from behind you, through the doorway, hold on, let me move things around, comes. Actually, not through that doorway. Which one did she come from? She would have come through this one. You watch her come through. It's for those of you not watching, they come in through a side door into the throne room. From opposite where the throne is a doorway to like this grand hallway.
Mm-hmm.
The doors open, and out steps Volans.
Does she have her eyes?
No, she does not. She just stands there and stares him down, and just can't catch me that easy. I learned too well.
Arner was holding 2 beams of Eldritch Blast, and now that Volans is out of the way, may I take those shots?
You are free to do so, and then we will be rolling initiative.
Absolutely. I want to hit this man so hard in the face that his grandchildren will feel it.
I'm just gonna roll my initiative first now, so it's out of the way. Oh, dirty 20. Ain't gonna be mad.
Oh, wait. Nope, wrong thing. That is a 29 to hit with both beams. That is a O, and 10 damage flat for both beams. So that's
That was only one beam.
You gotta do
really.
it again.
I thought it does twice. Okay.
No. It's
You had to do it twice.
RR2. Remember that.
The same with an
That's
attack.
14. It's 14. It's fine.
That was 10 damage. Awesome.
And then, still hasted technically, he's going to look at Volans and give a smile before, and he's going to drop haste for this just so that way he can have this and have some fun. He's going to tap his shoulder, use his only 4th level spell for greater invisibility, and we are going to vanish.
Kalani, we need an initiative when you're ready.
I will roll the initiative in a second once I mark this off my sheet.
She already did roll initiative.
Oh, never mind. Then it was.
Arner,
I
make
need
me
to.
that initiative check. I need to make an initiative check for Damon.
That is an 18.
Okay. Okay. So we have. You said you had a dirty 20, David?
Yep.
So it's. And then it's.
Bones with a 19. Arner with an 18.
So, quick question.
Mhm.
I get advantage on initiative. One of them was a 1, one of them was a 3. With halfling luck, can I reroll that 1?
Yeah.
Sure.
Technically. It doesn't really say when, like what. Ones that you get that matters.
That's a
14.
9. I got 1 better.
Cool. That's our initiative.
Nice.
You said there were 2 guards on Darren, right? Holding him down.
Yeah, but we're not running them in the initiative. All right. Let's go. Oh my gosh. Oh, come on. Words.
I'm actually gonna go right here, and he's gonna attack. The beauty of this, he's gonna attack him with the spear, and then he's gonna do a line of lightning damage.
Oh, what?
Ascendant
Boy,
Dragon Monk.
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited.
So for the spear, we'll just do it two-handed, because why not? That's a 15 a hit for 7 damage.
Will not hit.
That's fine. This would be lightning damage.
One moment, I just have to hug my friend as he leaves.
Mm-hmm. So
He fails the save.
he takes 17 damage. And then on top of that, he's going to go for an unarmed attack.
That'll hit.
For a 10 damage.
All right.
And then he'd be done.
Next is me, Rollins. I do things.
Does one of the guards get taken out next to Darren?
One of them would
We're
have.
gonna say they drop you because Fearbolt walked up and just breathed fire or lightning. That was kind of scary, and these mans is not ready for that.
Might be just enough jolt to get him awake.
Yeah, no, I'd say it is. Cool. Volance is not gonna pull any punches on this. Let's see, which of these are we gonna do? I have spells. I love spellcasters. I just can't decide which of these I want to use because it's fun. No, we're going to use that one. Here, Cass, I am going to... No, you're just going to...
Just do the thing. Yep.
Screw you. Crown of Stars. So Volans comes out here, and you just see these motes of pure radiant energy come around her and then go out towards King Damon. And she needs to make a ranged spell attack, which...
It's plus
spells,
11.
yeah.
And if it hits, it's 4d12.
That'll hit, and
Yeah, 4d12.
Nice.
nice.
Nicely done.
That is her turn. It is now Arner's turn.
Right, so let me just make sure here. Bonus action, insightful fighting. Fuck. They don't want me to have this. Technically, it's a 10.
That is 13.
Yeah,
Quick maths.
fine. Cool. So he's going to run up, and it doesn't matter because this man's can't see him, so he still gets advantage on the attack because he's not seen. And he's going to hit this motherfucker with the rapier really, really hard. Say 24 to
That'll
hit.
hit.
And then... And so that altogether will be 18 points of damage.
Yep.
And then Arner is going to... Yeah, no, he'll stay right there. He's still invisible, so...
Alright. And now it is King Damon's turn. And the only one he can see that is close enough is Alchemist, so yay. Gets the stats on this. $21 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
That is 12. That's not gonna hit you. First one will, which will do 17 damage. As he comes at you with this great sword he pulls up and just
That's all right.
right. That's all I got. Which makes it now Lenny's turn.
All right. Kaleni out here. She's going to let me just check her spellbook now that it's updated. Hopefully. Yes. She's gonna rush forward with a vampiric touch.
That will not hit.
An 18 doesn't hit him?
Nope.
Okay. Let me just double check if I have any warlock features that I can activate. I am going to use my reaction to do one with the shadows to give myself advantage on my next attack.
Awesome.
And that'll be my turn.
Darren!
So
The guards have dropped you.
He hits the ground, and that's just enough jolt to like wake him up. He kind of like takes a moment to look where the fuck he is, what's going on. Are the guards running away from him?
Yep.
Cool. He's going to pull an interesting kind of move. He's going to yeet himself back behind. That's 5, 10, 15, 20. Gonna get to about there. He's going to release a dagger that's in his sleeve and look at the king. And he's just gonna bonus action hide before he does it, so he has his advantage. And quick question to you: if he's hidden from the king and he's focused on other people, does this count as surprise?
No, because he knows you were in the room and like you're all attacking. You'll get advantage on the attack because you're hidden, but not a surprise.
No, no auto crits. Presumably they took away the rapiers.
Yeah.
It's a 20 to hit.
That will hit.
That's 15 damage with that dagger. I'm gonna throw another. He's got 2 of them. And that's a
That
19
will
to
not
hit.
hit.
19 does not. Okay. Damn.
He literally is just hits.
Needs speeds.
Let's see. What do I have? My bonus action stock. Let's mention it. Does he still have his short bow?
No.
So he used both the daggers, and he has no other weapons. Okay.
Oh, no.
Let's see. One of those attacks, he's gonna use the. I keep forgetting he has these things. The fire rune. So go ahead and make me a strength save of. 15.
Mm-hmm. Where's my stats? He does not save.
That's 7 damage, and he's restrained. And that'll be
And-
Darren's turn.
And he takes 2d6 fire damage at the beginning of each of his turns, right?
Did you take the 7 damage that I said?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Welcome us.
All right. Seeing the fact that everybody's there, he's going to go back and take care of him again. Da, 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 da. Nat 20 and dirty 17. And 17 doesn't hit.
That's your crit, Bill.
Crit did it.
He's looking real rough. That
And-
works.
Yep.
Awesome. Bolence is going to use another Crown of Stars thing. That'll hit. You all watch as Volence just in a fit claps her hands together before her, sends the radiant energy flying ahead of her, and the king just slammed into his throne with radiant energy and slumps to the ground,
Nice.
unconscious.
Arner is already on top of this man's body, and he's dying, right?
He's unconscious.
Cool. Then Arner's gonna drop invisibility and just go down right to the man's ear. Now, unfortunately, I said an eye for an eye. And he fucking takes the daggers and literally like melon balls these things out of this man's head.
Oh joy. Right.
Takes them in both hands, sets them on the table.
Eleni is
We
gonna
will-
go looking for Volance's eyes.
We're going
I-
to wrap things up there. I will send you guys the things that happen afterwards over messages, because our East Coasters need to go to sleep, and our Aussie needs to go to work.
Sure do.
Thank you guys for watching the stream. That was our first one shot. It went a little longer than I thought because y'all are just RP monsters.
Yes, that we are. That we are.
But it was fun. Make sure to join us next week. David will be DMing next week's one shot. And don't forget to check out our socials. And if you want to have a chance to play with us in a one shot and, and join in the insanity, make sure to check out that TikTok. And remember, we are starting at 7 p.m. Eastern next week, not 9:30, which will be 4 p.m. Pacific. Bye, everyone.
Have
Bye.
fun. Enjoy.
We love you. Thank you guys for tuning in.